Claudia sat in the crowd, her heart heavy yet pulsing with a flicker of hope. The world around her faded, blurring into a haze of lights and sounds, as she focused solely on the stage where her idol, Paul McCartney, was preparing to perform. It had been a grueling few months since her husband had passed away, a cruel twist of fate that had left her feeling lost and adrift. She was a woman of resilience, known among her friends for her unwavering positivity and infectious laughter, but grief had wrapped its tendrils around her spirit, leaving her feeling hollow. Yet tonight, in this moment, she felt compelled to honor her late husband, to share their love story with the world, even if just for a fleeting moment. Before we dive deeper into Claudia's poignant journey, I invite you to take a moment and subscribe to our channel. Your support is invaluable, and it's the only way we can continue to share these touching stories of real-life connections and heartfelt moments. So please hit that subscribe button now. As the first notes of music filled the air, Claudia's fingers trembled as she held up a sign that read, "1 after 9:09 for my love, David." She had painstakingly crafted it, each letter a testament to their shared memories, their laughter, and the love that had endured through the trials of life. The sign felt like a bridge between her grief and the hope that somehow, through the melody, her husband could be there with her, if only in spirit. The crowd around her pulsed with excitement, but Claudia remained focused, her eyes locked on Paul, willing him to notice her. Paul scanned the audience, his gaze dancing over the sea of faces, each one filled with anticipation. He had always been drawn to stories, the quiet ones nestled between the loud cheers, and tonight was no different. As he caught sight of Claudia and her heartfelt sign, an unspoken connection sparked between them. He felt the weight of her sorrow and the love that radiated from her gesture. It was a call to action, a reminder of the power music held to heal and unite. In that moment, a wave of empathy washed over him. He recalled his own journey through loss, the moments when music had been his solace, his escape. He understood the depth of Claudia's pain, the longing that came with losing a partner, a soulmate. Paul had seen many faces in the crowd, but Claudia stood out, not just for the sign she held but for the raw emotion etched across her features. He could sense the ache in her heart, an echo of his own past experiences. With a nod, he acknowledged her, and Claudia's breath caught in her throat. This was the validation she had desperately sought. As the band struck up the familiar chords of 1 after 9:09, a hush fell over the audience. It was as if the world had paused to honor the significance of the moment. Claudia's heart raced. The song was more than just a melody. It was a chapter of her life, a reminder of the joy and love she had shared with David. She closed her eyes, allowing the music to wash over her, each note pulling her deeper into memories of laughter-filled evenings and quiet moments spent in each other's embrace. The lyrics intertwined with her thoughts, a bittersweet reminder of what was lost, yet also of what had been. The audience swayed gently, their collective energy becoming a living tapestry of emotion. Some were unaware of the deeper meaning behind the song, but many felt the weight of Claudia's heartache and Paul's gesture. As he sang, his voice resonated with sincerity, weaving a narrative that transcended the stage and reached into the depths of Claudia's soul. Tears streamed down her cheeks, not just of sorrow but of gratitude. This moment was a gift, a tribute to her love, her pain, and the unbreakable bond she shared with David. In the midst of the performance, crowds often forgot the individual stories that coalesce into a singular experience. But not tonight. Paul's gaze remained anchored on Claudia, and as the chorus echoed through the venue, he felt the power of community, the shared understanding of loss and love. The song became a bridge, connecting hearts in a raw and honest expression of humanity. Claudia felt the warmth of the crowd envelop her, a collective embrace that reminded her she was not alone in her grief. As the final notes lingered in the air, the audience erupted into applause, a standing ovation that filled the arena with love and support. Claudia was swept up in the moment, the cheers drowning out the echoes of her sorrow. It was as if the music had transformed the space, turning grief into celebration, pain into healing. Paul stepped forward, his heart full, and the energy in the room pulsed with an electric connection that transcended the ordinary. Claudia stood, her heart swelling with a mix of emotions. She felt seen, understood, and cradled by the collective spirit of those around her. In that instant, she realized that her love for David, though marked by loss, was also a testament to the beauty of their life together. The applause continued, but her focus was solely on Paul, who had given her the gift of remembrance, the chance to share her story with the world. As the concert continued, Claudia's mind raced with the possibilities of what lay ahead. The moment had ignited a spark within her, a sense of purpose that transcended her grief. Perhaps it was time to channel that energy into something meaningful, to honor David not just in her heart, but actively keep his memory alive, to help others who might be walking a similar path of loss. She envisioned a future where her experiences could guide others through their darkest hours, where she could transform her pain into a source of strength. The music had opened a door, and she could feel the winds of change beginning to stir within her. The audience around her continued to celebrate the magic of the moment, but Claudia was just beginning to understand the profound impact it would have on her journey ahead. The applause began to fade, but the echoes of the song lingered in the air, wrapping around Claudia like a warm embrace. She looked around, taking in the faces of those who had shared this sacred moment with her. Each person was a testament to the power of love and the healing that music could evoke. It was as if a silent agreement had formed among them. They were all part of something larger, a community woven together by threads of shared experiences, both joyous and sorrowful. As the concert progressed, the jubilant atmosphere seemed to lift Claudia's spirits, but her mind remained anchored in reflection. With each song, she found herself contemplating the memories that had shaped her life with David. They had danced together to McCartney's music countless times, letting the melodies weave their stories into a tapestry of love. In the sea of faces, she could almost see David smile, hear his laughter mingling with the music. It was bittersweet. The joy of the moment was tinged with a sharp pang of absence. The next song began, a lively tune that had once filled their home with warmth and laughter. Claudia joined the crowd in singing along, but her voice was tinged with emotion. As she belted out the lyrics, she felt the weight of her grief shift ever so slightly. It was a moment of catharsis, a release that came with acknowledging both her sorrow and the joy that David had brought into her life. She could hear his voice in her mind, urging her to embrace life, to celebrate the moments that mattered. And then it hit her, the realization that perhaps this concert was more than just a tribute to her love for David. It was also a call to action, a reminder that life continued, and so must she. The very essence of their love story was one of resilience, adventure, and joy in the face of adversity. Claudia felt an overwhelming desire to honor that legacy, to transform her grief into a beacon of hope for others navigating the stormy seas of loss. As the final song of the evening drew to a close, the energy in the arena reached a crescendo. Paul thanked the audience, his voice rich with sincerity. "Keep the love alive," he said, his words hanging in the air, resonating with Claudia's newfound clarity. In that moment, she made a silent vow. She would not let David's memory fade into the background of her life. Instead, she would carry it forward, honoring their shared journey by helping others navigate their own paths of grief. When the concert ended and the lights dimmed, the crowd began to disperse, but Claudia lingered. She felt an urge to capture this moment, to hold onto the energy that had enveloped her throughout the night. She took out her phone, and with trembling fingers, she began to type a message, her heart racing with anticipation. "Tonight, I felt the love of my husband like never before. Thank you, Paul McCartney, for helping me find my way back to him." It was a simple message, but it felt monumental. As she sent it off into the digital ether, Claudia felt a sense of relief wash over her. She had begun to articulate her feelings, to share her journey, and for the first time since David's passing, she felt a glimmer of purpose. It was a step, albeit a small one, towards reclaiming her life. Perhaps this was the beginning of something beautiful, A journey not just of remembrance, but of sharing, connecting, and healing. Walking out of the venue, Claudia was greeted by the cool night air. The streets were alive with chatter and laughter, the echoes of the concert still vibrating in the atmosphere. She glanced at the faces around her, many still aglow with the euphoria of the night. In that moment, she felt a sense of belonging, a profound connection to those who had experienced the same emotions, the same catharsis. It was as if the concert had forged invisible bonds among the attendees, each person carrying a piece of each other's stories. As she made her way home, Claudia's mind raced with possibilities. She envisioned starting a support group for those who had lost loved ones, a safe space where stories could be shared, where grief could be transformed into strength. It was a daunting task, but one that filled her with a sense of excitement. She could already picture it, a circle of people, each with their own stories, minds open to healing, hearts ready to embrace the love they had lost while also seeking new connections. The idea blossomed within her, fueled by the emotional release she had experienced at the concert. She imagined inviting local musicians to share their music, creating an atmosphere where art and healing intertwined. Music had always been a significant part of her life with David. It had brought them joy, comfort, and connection. It was only fitting that it would play a role in helping others heal. Upon arriving home, she felt a wave of inspiration wash over her. She reached for her journal, a trusted companion through her journey of grief. Pages filled with her emotions, her thoughts, and her memories spilled forth as she wrote down her ideas. She detailed her vision for the support group, brainstorming potential names, themes, and ways to incorporate music into their healing sessions. Each word felt like a brick being laid in a foundation, a sanctuary for those seeking solace. As the hours passed, Claudia's initial spark of inspiration ignited into a full-blown fire of determination. She began researching local venues, reaching out to musicians, and exploring potential partnerships with mental health professionals. The more she delved into the logistics, the more she felt alive, invigorated by the prospect of creating something beautiful out of her pain. A sense of purpose enveloped her. She was no longer just a widow navigating her grief, but a beacon of hope for others. The following days were filled with purpose, passion, and connection. Claudia connected with fellow widows and widowers, sharing her vision and inviting them to join her on this journey. Each conversation deepened her understanding of the collective pain they all shared, but it also illuminated the resilience that lay within each of them. They began to form a community, rallying around the idea that while loss was a significant chapter in their lives, it did not have to be the end of their stories. As their first meeting approached, Claudia felt a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Would they connect? Would her vision resonate with them? She reminded herself that this was not just about her. It was about collective healing, a space for vulnerability and strength. On the evening of the gathering, she arrived early, setting up the room and preparing for what she hoped would be a transformative experience for all involved. As the attendees began to arrive, Claudia was filled with warmth as she recognized familiar faces. Each person carried their own stories, their own burdens, but they had all come together with a shared purpose: to heal, to remember, and to support one another. Sitting in a circle, they began to share their stories, their laughter mingling with tears, creating a tapestry of connection that was both beautiful and heart-wrenching. In that moment, Claudia understood that healing was not a straight line, but a journey filled with twists and turns. It was messy and unpredictable, yet it was also rich with love and hope. She felt the power of their collective stories, each one adding depth to the healing process. Music played softly in the background, a reminder of the love that had brought them together. As the evening unfolded, Claudia realized that her journey was just beginning. She had taken the first step toward honoring David's memory, and in doing so, she had opened a door to a world of healing, compassion, and connection. The concert had sparked a flame within her, and now she was committed to nurturing that flame, allowing it to grow and illuminate the path for others who walked the same road of loss. If this story is touching your heart, make sure to comment from where you are hearing this amazing story. Your engagement is a reminder that we are all part of a larger narrative, one that intertwines love, loss, and the resilience of the human spirit. Together, we can create a community that uplifts and supports, reminding one another that we are never alone in our journeys. The evening unfolded beautifully, each story shared weaving a deeper bond among the group. Claudia listened intently as others recounted their memories, the laughter, the tears, and the moments that defined their relationships. Each voice added a layer to the communal experience, illuminating the distinct yet shared journey of love and loss. She felt a profound sense of belonging, seeing her own grief mirrored in theirs. As the session progressed, Claudia decided to introduce an idea she had been nurturing since the concert. What if we incorporate music into our meetings? She proposed, her voice steady yet filled with excitement. We could share songs that remind us of our loved ones, or even invite local musicians to play. Music has a way of connecting us, of expressing what words sometimes cannot. A murmur of agreement rippled through the group, and Claudia felt her heart soar. She could see the spark in their eyes, the recognition that this could be a way to honor their loved ones while fostering healing. One by one, they began sharing songs that held significance for them, transforming the room into a sanctuary of shared melodies and cherished memories. Laughter and tears flowed freely as they played snippets of songs on their phones, each tune encapsulating a moment frozen in time, a reminder of love that transcended the boundaries of life and death. As the first meeting came to a close, Claudia felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. This was only the beginning. She could already envision how the power of music could enhance their healing journey. She knew they would face challenges ahead, but together, they were forging a path toward resilience and renewal. In the weeks that followed, Claudia poured her energy into the support group, organizing regular meetings, inviting musicians from the local community, and fostering an environment where vulnerability was met with compassion. Each gathering brought a new sense of purpose, and the connections deepened as they moved through their grief together. One evening, a local guitarist named Sam joined them, sharing his own story of loss and the healing power of music. As he strummed the strings of his guitar, the room filled with a warmth that embraced them all. Claudia watched as the group sang along, their voices rising in harmony, a collective tribute to their loved ones. In that moment, she knew they were creating something extraordinary, a safe haven for healing, a community built on love, where music intertwined with memory. As the seasons changed, so did the lives of those in the group. Claudia felt a shift within herself, a gradual transformation from grief to a renewed sense of purpose. She began to explore ways to expand their reach, envisioning workshops that combined music therapy with storytelling. She wanted to share their experiences beyond the confines of their circle, to connect with others who might benefit from the healing power of community. The idea of hosting a larger event began to take shape in her mind. She envisioned a concert, a night dedicated to honoring the memories of their loved ones, where stories would be shared alongside music. It would be a celebration of life, love, and the enduring connections that bind them, even in loss. Claudia reached out to local musicians, sharing her vision, and was thrilled to receive enthusiastic responses. As the date of the concert approached, excitement buzzed in the air. Claudia and her group worked tirelessly to organize the event, pouring their hearts into every detail. They crafted a beautiful program that highlighted each story, ensuring that every participant felt seen and celebrated. The night of the concert arrived, and the venue was filled with friends, family, and community members eager to support the cause. As the first notes rang out, Claudia stood at the side of the stage, her heart racing with anticipation. She could see the faces of those she had come to love, their smiles filled with hope and recognition of the journey they had all undertaken together. As the music enveloped the room, she felt a wave of emotion wash over her, a reminder of the power of connection forged through shared experiences. Throughout the night, stories were shared in between songs, each one a testament to love that remained, even in absence. The crowd responded with warmth and compassion, tears mingling with laughter as the music flowed. Claudia felt David's presence, a gentle reminder that love never truly fades. It evolves, taking on new forms and meanings. As the final song echoed through the venue, the audience rose to their feet, a standing ovation that resonated with the depth of emotion in the room. Claudia's heart swelled with pride and gratitude as she looked around at the faces illuminated by the glow of the stage lights. They had turned their grief into something beautiful, a celebration of life that honored the love they had lost while embracing the connections they had forged. In that moment, Claudia realized that her journey was not just about healing, it was about creating a legacy of love and resilience. She had transformed her pain into purpose, and through her efforts, she had helped others find their way back to joy. As the applause rang in her ears, she felt a profound sense of fulfillment wash over her. As the crowd began to disperse, Claudia lingered, absorbing the energy of the night. She knew this was just the beginning. Together, they had created something powerful, a community that would continue to grow and evolve. She made a silent promise to herself and to David. She would carry forward their love, sharing it with the world and helping others navigate their journeys of grief. With a heart full of hope and a spirit ready for the next chapter, Claudia stepped into the night, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. She had learned that while loss was an integral part of life, so was love, and it was through that love that healing could flourish. The music of their lives would continue to play, a beautiful melody that echoed through the hearts of all those who had gathered together, reminding them that they were never alone.